Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Charm Refresh. I was so excited to do this house. I had originally thought it would be fun to maybe do a practical magic house for this one, but I realized fairly quickly that it wasn't going to work with what I had available for the pack or this lot. So the lot is not set up correctly. Might be something I'll do next year for Halloween, is maybe a bunch of Halloween themed movie houses or something. But I did find a house that looked really cool. It was probably an AI house, to be honest, but it was like a witch cottage. So I based the general idea of the charm home on that. Of course, it had to be, changed up to work with the Sims and what we have available, but the overall look and feel worked out really well. And I like it. So that's what matters. So here you can see me kind of playing with this roof. The roof I struggle with quite a bit. You'll see this throughout, but eventually I get it. Eventually it works. And I like it. I did a couple of different things with these roofs, trying to get it to work correctly and look similar to what the photo was that I found. But yeah, not perfect, but still looks good. So I'm happy with it. There is this rounded room. So if you hate those, sorry, not sorry. I believe that's the only rounded room I have. It's this little mini tower. But it's still kind of cute. And I really wanted this house to kind of scream old money opulence without being too crazy. And so that's one reason I kind of went with the more Victorian type theme. And it kind of just created, I don't know, I think a good look for the Charm family. This is supposed to be a family that is, an old magic family. So I think it worked out well. I want to say I did the Victorian because, one, that says, a Townie Refresh. So I can only use stuff from the base game and the Realm of Magic pack. So I couldn't make it look too old, but honestly, you could easily use the Castle Estate kit to make this look like an even older home. And I think that would be really cool. I am debating in the legacy challenge I'm doing. We do have to do a Realm of Magic playthrough at some point. I might have the goal be to move into this house. I don't know yet. I gotta look at what the requirements are before I decide that as well. But I really like this. I think it's a cute house. If I did that and we actually played in the house and it wasn't like the end goal, I would probably update a few things with other packs, but nothing too crazy. In general, it's a cute build, and I think it's perfect for this pack. So I will say, as you can see, still struggling a bit to figure out what I wanted to do and where. I did want a big, like, I'm going to call it maybe more of a conservatory than a greenhouse. But you can see I'm kind of playing with it here. And then I decided, okay, I like these windows on the front. I didn't want to do them throughout the whole thing, but I definitely like the windows, the Realm of Magic windows on the front. Now, I will say this area changes a little bit throughout the build. I play with the size, shape, all that fun stuff. But it stays pretty much where it's located. It doesn't move. And I knew I wanted to have it kind of connected like a hallway there. So I have this hallway. I kind of play with that a little bit too. I couldn't make up my mind as to exactly how the floor plan was throughout a good amount of this build. So expect for that to change because it will. But in general, it's only a few changes here or there. It's not that bad. All right. So once again, just a heads up, if you hear purring, meowing, my cat is right next to me and demanding attention. He was demanding attention before the video started, so I'm not surprised he's back. He seems to like to bother me when I record things, so he might make an appearance. At least vocally. So, anyway, back to the build here. I, of course, had to put in a fireplace. Fitting for the Victorian themed build here. They all had fireplaces. We didn't have central heating back in those days, guys. In fact, they all had like fireplaces all over the place. If they were wealthy enough anyway. But we'll pretend they had magic. They were able to, heat their homes. We're not gonna go that dire. There's only one fireplace. So, the other thing is, again, keeping the old Victorian theme to the house. More closed off rooms is something I did. We're going to pretend downstairs that the kitchen breakfast nook area has been redone, maybe. And you'll see that later on. But upstairs, somewhat closed off. I originally thought that I was going to do the bedrooms here as kind of like the attached bathroom. But then I was like, well, wait, we have, a sim here that's married or getting married. He's an adult. And then we have the teenaged daughter. So I kind of or not his daughter, her daughter, because the mom lives here. It's her house. So she, of course, gets the master bedroom. And then the son and his fiance will get one of the bigger of the two bedrooms. And then the daughter gets the other one. I cannot remember all their names off the top of my head. I played through this pack in like a speed build once. So I am excited to do that with the Legacy challenge. Unfortunately, because it's a Legacy, some of these families may not be intact by the time we get there. But I don't know. I might download them and move them in just for that experience. We'll see. So, looking over the house a little bit and just trying to decide what I want to do here. I decided to add a bathroom to the one bedroom so that our engaged couple could have their own bathroom and not have to go downstairs to the, or into one of the other bathrooms, because I gave the other bedroom that was originally part of the Jack and Jill room that bathroom. So I'm just going to say they updated the house when the fiance moved in. All right, so moving down, we're going into the kitchen, and I struggled with this kitchen a little bit. I knew in general what I wanted it to look like, but with the limitations of cabinetry in The Sims, I couldn't figure out how to make it look the way I wanted to. So you can see me playing here with some of it. And I finally give up and put in this little wall piece. And that helped so much right there. I think it was just a great addition to this. I don't use those very often because sometimes I can find them annoying. But in this case, it worked. You can also see I took out the countertops because it was at this point I realized that there are no upper cabinets. So that wouldn't work for a kitchen. I needed the upper cabinetry. We don't have any options for base game. For like shelving, really, that would be fitting for this. So I didn't do that. I decided to use different cabinets. So now just kind of looking around outside, deciding what I want to do, how things work, what's going on, and changing things. So now just kind of trying to figure out the outside since I took that hallway down. And as you can see with the kitchen, still playing around with that as well. And just thinking about how I want it to look. I struggled with this kitchen area for quite a bit. But I knew in general what I wanted it to look like. But getting it to what I envisioned was a whole different story. So, patience is a virtue. All right, so I also kind of went through and realized that this was very white and was trying to put some color in and use the Realm of Magic stuff more in this home than I did in the last home. I struggled though. I love the stuff in here. I don't know. It looks so weird. So I ended up changing the cabinets to this brown. And again, they're base game cabinets, so limited options with that. But I really wanted to, I don't know, make this feel like it's a very grand home, but at the same time have a homey feel. I think I eventually pulled that off. Now here you can see me playing with curtains. And I'm not sure if I had the filter for Realm of Magic off when I was doing this. Because for some reason, I didn't go right to the Realm of Magic curtains. I get there eventually, guys. I promise. I, meanwhile, struggle with flooring. So, play with that. I probably changed this kitchen flooring like, I don't know, however many floor types we have in the game. I mean, or at least base game. Yeah. Yeah, it was not as much fun as I was hoping. I also struggled a bit to try to make things or figure out things that would kind of match a little. But again, eventually I get there. And I do go back and forth between the different rooms a bit here. I kind of worked on this whole like dining room, kitchen, breakfast nook area all together. Just made sense at the time. So hopefully it doesn't make you dizzy. That's kind of where I'm at here. Let's not make you dizzy. Alright, so still playing around. Finally found the curtains, guys. It took me a while, but I finally found them. and decided to go with this kind of, I don't know, bluish green color. Originally, my hope for this house was to make it more of a green. We didn't have, there's not a lot of information for the earlier families when it comes to the townies. So I didn't have favorite colors, but I made that front door green, and my hope was to use more green throughout the house. Unfortunately, they gave us a couple of green items, and that was it in Realm of Magic. So I went with the blue, and my theory is that the mother's husband liked green, so he insisted the door have the green glass and the living room be a green color. Contrary to what I just put in here, it does change. And that's what I'm going with. He liked the green, she likes blue. So, also, for those of you wondering why, so many builders use a lot of blue, I think the Sims team has an obsession with blue because it's everywhere. You can find so much blue. So here you can just see me trying to get the green to work and then playing with everything. I think it worked out pretty well. The greens don't exactly match with the wallpaper and the seating, but it's very close, so it works. I also did not like that fireplace at all. I really needed something else there, but I put it into the kind of greenhouse area, so that worked. All right, so this living room was tricky to do. I wanted it to be big and open, but at the same time have a cozy feel, so I think I pulled that off with the furniture arrangement. I also struggled a little bit with this corner because I did not plan this well. I think originally I thought about putting the bathroom in there. Did not. But I wanted it open, I think is what happened. So I didn't put the bathroom there. It's in that hallway. And it looks good. I think in general, I pull off the effect of, somebody liked green and insisted this room be green. And that was kind of my thing. And then adding furniture in as I went. So this area here is an office. And so I kind of just put in a bookshelf, a desk, computer, a little spot where you could read. Nothing too crazy in here. And I think it's cozy. I like it. I think it fits this area really well. And I don't know. I like the room. It's hard for me to describe that one and why I like it so much, but I really do. This is another one I really actually like a lot. I originally planned on just making this a sitting room, but then I realized it was bigger than I was envisioning it. So I added in the art easel and some of the other art stuff. This would be a great place to put in some more of the art kit if you have that. I did not have that at the time. I built this. Not that I would be using it anyway, because this is a Realm of Magic and base game only build. So, all right, moving on from these rooms into our greenhouse conservatory area. I moved the fireplace in here. I always planned on putting the cauldron in here. And then it's just a bunch of plants. I really wanted to make this look more, I don't know, planty, I guess, if that's a word. So I didn't add in plants, but I did add in these hanging planter boxes. And I think that helped with the look. And then, of course, once you get plants in there and planted, that'll also help. I also apologize if you got really dizzy right there, because watching that made me a little dizzy. I have not been editing much in these builds unless it's like an obvious edit. So let me know if some of that does make you dizzy. I will try to go through and edit. It's more of a time thing right now, but I can try if that is a problem. So I've been trying to catch that, like not spin around as much, but sometimes my mouse has other plans. Okay, so moving upstairs to the daughter's bedroom, I went purple in here and I love it. I think it's very cute and teenagey looking, as much as I could anyway. You know, a few posters on the wall. Nothing too crazy in here. I wanted it to feel like it's a room that you could add a few things to, depending on other packs you may own. And just kind of go from there with it. But it's definitely playable as is as well. But I thought it was kind of fun. Added in this little sun decoration just to, I don't know, liven it up a little bit. So in here, I decided to use the artist's bed and make this more of like a blue, blue-gray room is really what my thought process was with this one. This is for the son and his fiance that has moved in. So decorated this for them. So the double bed and just some, classic furnishings here. I really do love this room. The bed works well with the wallpaper here. So that's just it. I don't know. It works so well. I was so happy with this one. I will say I wasn't as happy with the curtains in this one, but I did what I could. I wish that we had a gray set that would match the wallpaper a little bit better, like a blue-gray set. Okay, so outside, another cauldron area. I really pictured on the wall, I just hung, I don't even know what to call them, like herb racks or whatever, I really pictured more of like the eco lifestyle planters. So if you have that, that's an idea to put there instead of the hanging, herbs. And that may be something I'd end up going through and updating and changing. I also thought that having, a couple more outdoor things out here might be fun. You could always put more planters out there if you wanted to, but I thought, we already have the conservatory, so I didn't. And then down here to the back room, I kept playing with the outside of this. And I liked things, didn't like things. You can see I just struggled a lot. And I had no idea what to do. I wanted some cool columns in there. Nothing was working with me. So eventually I think I figured it out. You can see there. I probably forgot to hit record at some point. So moving into this area, this is kind of the office / potions area, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but it's a cute little area that, your sim can come to, and the cauldron's right outside. That's why I didn't put one in here. I did think about doing that and adding a cauldron right there, but decided not to. There's one outside. And then there's another one downstairs. I also did not put a basement in this house. Thought about it, decided not to. Um, there is space. You could put a basement in here if you wanted to. I would recommend putting the stairs maybe in the hallway area, but I just did not. It would be cool to have another, cauldron room down there or something down there. That would be fun. Okay, so I did put a few planters up there. I forgot about that. Uh, Probably because it was just one of those need the space, need to fill the space. Yeah. The problem with doing base game only and one pack builds, you don't have access to everything. But what I try to do with these, if you're new to the channel, is leave some space so that you can add things here and there. Of course, you're going to have to move things. But, yeah, that's kind of the goal, is to make it very usable and pretty for what it is when you download it, but also allow you to make it your own too. So here's the master, and I know I said she liked blue, but we're gonna say it was decorated when, her husband was there and they agreed not to use either blue or green in the master. So, and she has left it the way it was. That's what I'm going with. Now, lore-wise, I don't remember if her husband was ever mentioned, but she has kids. I'm going to assume she had a husband. That's what I'm going with for my storyline. You do you. But I do absolutely love this bedroom. I think it's just very sophisticated looking with the cream color. I like it very much. I think if I don't use this house for the legacy game, I may do the bedroom similarly. Yeah, because I love it. I love it that much. At least color-wise. I mean, the bedroom itself will probably be a different configuration, but color-wise, I like that a lot. All right, so the bathroom. This bathroom, guys. I struggled to get this bathroom to do anything I wanted it to do. I get it eventually. It's a little different, but it works. It's a big bathroom. There's a lot of space in this bathroom. But that's okay. It's a master. Masters tend to be a little more spacious. So we'll go with that. All right. Just adding in some rugs to, again, fill some of that floor space and make it feel a little bit cozier. And then our curtains. And little changes here and there. Now, moving on to the exterior. Oh, this was fun. I decided to show me trying to do some of this. I believe I paused at a few points as I was trying to figure this out. But I really wanted to create some kind of elevated spaces for this house. And this area, I wanted to kind of be a dueling space. Now, I will say I put this in, and unfortunately, you couldn't use it when I play tested, so it's been changed to a rug. Not sure how that's going to work outside, but that is my intention with that area, is that it would be a dueling space. And I think it turned out pretty cool. I played with it a little bit just as I started landscaping. Things weren't working. But eventually I get it. And it turns out like a really cool looking area. I went through though, and you can see I'm doing all these bushes, getting it all kind of figured out and hedged in and all that. And I get to this end part and nothing was working right with me. It wasn't looking right. It wasn't lining up right. I was struggling, is what I'm saying. So you can see I get rid of all that, start all over again. And this time decide that I'm going to use a couple of platforms here instead. So I do that, and that works out much better. I was able to create the look I was going for and have it look right. So, yeah, it got wonky trying to play with the terrain instead of doing it this way. But believe it or not, I like this a lot better. I kind of pictured it as like maybe a really old like hill spot in their yard that, they used from, years, thousands of years ago type thing, hundreds of years ago, however you want to think about that. But it works the way I did it. It's okay. All right, so you can see I put in a pool too. Always an intention to have a pool here. And I thought it was just kind of a cool little addition to the yard. And the other thing I struggled with was this landscaping. I got to the point right here where I realized I really needed to get this house lifted to where I wanted it. So I moved on to landscaping. And landscaping. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I just want to skip it. I'll be honest. I'm sure a few of you know what I'm talking about, but I'm happy I did it. It looks really good at the end, I promise. Here you can see I just kind of made a planter area and went from there. I wanted to keep most of the landscaping kind of simple around the house. I liked the look of more simple, but I did throw in a few things. So you can see like these mushrooms here. I wanted a couple things because we're not in the magic realm, but we're in an area where magic people live. They're not hiding in this world. So I figured, I'm like, we can throw in a few things here and there. I will say I absolutely love how this area turned out right here using these little planters. It was difficult to get them lined up correctly so they didn't clip into the house because that was going to get raised up when the house did. So I got it though. It looks good, and hopefully when you download it, it will work because I did not try to re-download this. I have play tested it, so it works. Let's see, what else? So, again, landscaping, trying to get some trees in here. Figure that out now that I have the house up. And it was a little bit more of a struggle than I thought it would be. I really wasn't sure about that tree over there and that you can see right here. But I leave it. All right, so here I wanted to create kind of a cute little seating area. I saw a picture, I can't remember where, probably just a few days before doing this build. And it was just a really cute pathway that went up. And I think the path just continued, but I decided to make this a cute little like garden seating area. So once again, playing with terrain, but this one worked better because I wasn't trying to make it a specific like flat space. I wanted it to have more of this look, but I wanted it to have a hill look, I guess is where I'm going with that. So it worked out a little bit better. Now you can see I'm just kind of trying to make it look a little more private with a bunch of plants, and struggled with that a bit because one, plants with these raised areas don't always work well, and two, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to put here. I struggled in that aspect. I also struggled with floating plants. So eventually you can see I start playing again a little bit with the terrain. Take out some of these I put in and put in some individual ferns. And then just kind of play a little more with how I want this to kind of look. I wanted the stairs to look like they were almost like in the hill. So I used a couple of different things to do that, and I think I accomplished the look. You can get up there, you can sit. It works really well. And I wanted this to look kind of like an overgrown pathway. Again, kind of going, I don't know, my opinion, magic, the magic realm is more of a country-ish type world. So I wanted to give it that look, but make it look like maybe it was also a planned area. So that's kind of where I was going with this. More mushrooms, of course, because why not? And some more little plants and stuff here. So kind of just figuring out how I want this path to look. I did want it to kind of not go right out to the edge of the lot there, so I put some dirt. And here, the pool area. I could not figure out what I wanted to do here. So I eventually just tile all that in, round out the pathing a little bit, and go from there. So you can see kind of just figuring out stairs now. I moved on from that garden spot because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do again. So keep in mind, I go back to it. I do. There's more there. So working on the pool area, I tried to make this somewhat simple. I didn't go too crazy with it. Some nice tiling to create a more blue color. And now I'm back over to this garden space. I put in this table and some chairs. And really I just wanted a nice little seating area. That was the whole point of all of that. Is a nice little seating area. All right, so now I'm just adding in some more landscaping, the trees, trying to make this look a little more, like it's a finished home that's been here for a while. I think I pulled it off. Lots of trees, lots of, garden stuff. I think it looks really good. And I hope you agree. Let me know what you think of this area specifically in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think it's such a cute little outdoor space. And of course, I got pictures so you can really get a good look at it. But yeah, so here now just putting in lighting as usual. Making it dark so I can see how the lighting actually works and affects things. I also decided to use some of these, I think they're like the sprites or something is what they're technically called. And absolutely love how those look. I do want to apologize if you hear crinkling. I've got a cat stepping on a bag I have on my desk. And I had to try to shoo him off of it so I can move it. But moving it now. So hopefully you won't hear that again. Okay, so I realized as I was doing the lighting that I still hadn't done anything back here. And this is a big deck area. I made it big so that you would have some options out here as well. You could put in a hot tub. I did not. You could put in, I don't know, some other things out here with some of the other packs. But it is definitely an area that looks complete when done. So don't feel like you're going to download this and not be able to use it. I did put in this seating area with my standard table and candles as a hint of we need a base game fire pit because that's what I wanted there. And if I use this house in my legacy challenge, a fire pit will appear there. It will. I thought about putting a cauldron there just for fun, but I didn't. I put it on the other side instead. So I figured, why not? Why not? Maybe they come out here and make mac and cheese. Okay. It's good. It's good. All right. So here, realizing that this space looked kind of blank, so decided to see what I could put there. Nothing seemed to speak to me, so I kind of gave up on it and instead went through and changed out the fencing and then just went to terrain paint. I did leave that blank, so again, you could put a hot tub there too. So lots of options with this house. And I wanted it to be big so that you could add to it and make it more extravagant than what the 2 packs I used allowed. All right, so we are coming up to the end of the build here. You can see just a little more terrain paint here and there. And we are done. I absolutely love this build. I love how it looks. I think it's going to be fun to play in, and I do hope you download it. All right, I'm going to let you go and take a look at the pictures, and I will be right back. Right, so that is the completed Charm House build. Again, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I do hope you enjoyed downloading it and playing in it if you do. Our next week's build is going to be werewolves. There's only one lot. I can't remember which pack it goes to, but it's one of the werewolf packs houses, and I designed it based on loading into the lot and using it as like the pack gathering space. So I do hope you check that out next week, and don't forget to check out the Legacy Challenge on Friday. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye now.